Awesome. So thanks for joining us, everyone. And today we are going to be working with Sway and specifics around Sway and how we can create them to just optimize sort of how we're building our presentations out and utilize some of our just accessibility features and ways that we can make things just a lot easier for us when we need to present something or create a presentation. So my name is Colter Lewis. We also will have Cami on the call. She'll be in the back end here helping out with any questions in the chat. But before we begin, I guess I can introduce myself a little bit more. I'm a certified primary teacher, but I'm also certified up into intermediate, primary intermediate. I was working with Microsoft for a few years and their ed tech programs, and now I'm residing in Toronto. I'm lucky enough to be able to consult with Cobblestone Collective. And while doing that, I still work in a few school boards. I work in the Niagara board and the Simcoe County board. So it's nice to be able to still practice what I've been teaching online and bring it into the schools and support administrative staff along with educators and students. So I'd just like to give a quick acknowledgement to the territories and lands that we're currently on. Myself, I am on the Mississauga of the Credit, Treaty 13A here in Toronto. And I just like to make sure that I really encourage you to check out what native land you're on if you visit native-land.ca. And I'm thankful that for the Mississaugas of the Credit for allowing me to be a settler and a part of this land. And I hope that I'm doing it justice and be continuing to be a caretaker of it. So we have Candace just joining us. Hey, Candace.
Hi.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining. We're just getting started. I'm just going to post in the chat here for you the link to our presentation. You can have this for your records. It's just a real simple presentation that I'm going to be doing it live, but this can be for your records if you'd like to. If you need to refer back to it, you can always refer back to the recording as well, as this session is being recorded. So again, I'm a consultant with the Cobblestone Collective, so it's a big honor to be working with them. It's run and owned by 3 really powerful and strong women that work really hard to support educators around the globe, not only in Canada, but we've been reaching out globally recently. So we've done a lot, and it's a really big honor to be working with them. And this is one of our six-part series for simplifying our workflows. We have one more on Wednesday, which is going to be about Word and forms. So these are also all recorded. So if you want to go back and you can't make the sessions, feel free to jump in and grab those. Also, a quick shout out to Microsoft Canada. They have supported the session, making it free for any participant. We have a quick little plan for today. We're just going to be working within Sway. We're going to introduce it to you, why use it, creating different ones, layouts, designs, settings, and sharing. So just some real basic things just to make you feel comfortable being able to use the program. But if you want to go over anything else, please feel free. That's not a problem. And we're going to actually start in our portal.office.com. So if you need to get here, or if you haven't been here before, please make your way. I'm sure you have, but you can also sign in at office.com, but portal.office works. And it should bring you to your Microsoft home screen, which should look something like. So we're just heading over to our office.com. I can't seem to find the link that I set up for myself, but I've opened up another one. So this is what your office.com homepage should look like. This is my school board one. But at your home screen, when you're at office.com for the home, I encourage you to actually download the Office tools. You'll see in the top right that you'll actually have the option to install Office. So I encourage you to install Office, download the programs to your device, and utilize those tools because they are a little bit more powerful. They're just a little bit stronger for some tools, and just a couple more options for you. So I encourage you to check those out if you have the option to download, which you should if you have the subscription. So once you're here on the bottom left, we're going to click on all apps. If you don't see Sway right there, oh, that's not Sway, that's Sway. Okay, but if you don't see it, you can click on the all apps, and then it should pop up there for you. Okay, and for those of you that have never used Sway before, it's a really nice way that you can create aesthetically pleasing presentations without the time that it takes to build sort of a PowerPoint. I know for myself, PowerPoints can be challenging for me. There's a lot of little finicky things that I do with it, and I think that makes it time consuming for me. I myself and my personality and how I am, I'm resizing the pictures. I'm just doing a few things that are time consuming. And what Sway does is it allows you to create these presentations without having to worry about the aesthetic appearance of it. Okay. But before we begin, I just want to clarify that you do have these templates here. So especially for administrative support or administrative staff, you have some really nice templates that can be utilized for your workplace. Newsletters, for example. But if we clicked on more templates, it will send us over here. It's just going to take its time. Oh, it's a newsletter title. Did I accidentally click on newsletter? No. I might have accidentally clicked on newsletter. It's opening up a newsletter for me. But you can see here are all the templates for you. So you have a few just really nice ones that will just get you started. And it's important. You don't have to use them specifically for that, but like if you wanted to use a newsletter or you wanted to use a presentation and you wanted to use it for example, a storytelling, you could use either or. It's just they're set up a little bit differently for you. So if this newsletter one is actually loading, I can show it. Yeah. So you can see this is what it kind of comes out to being, and you just sort of fill in the blanks. You add your own pictures, and you can edit this. So just by clicking that Start Editing, we'll be able to edit this, and you'll see it brings us into what we call our storyline. Okay, and our storyline is where we begin to edit. But I'm just showing you this, but before we begin, we're gonna start from a blank Sway. So this is just the warm-up, sort of, this is the end result that you can make, and then we'll see how we can create those along the way. So just, there we go. And so this is your storyline, and we're just going to edit these cards, but we'll create our own, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay. One thing that is nice to see is that if you click on this arrow right here, because you can see I'm scrolling up and down, and there's a lot there. If I just scroll and click on that arrow, it minimizes it for me. So I can minimize all this and have it essentially on one screen just to make sure that I don't have to keep scrolling up and down to see everything that I've done. So it's taking its time, but I think it's time now that we begin our blank new Sway. So I'd like you to click on blank new Sway. Let me know if you have any trouble getting there. And actually, Candace and Erica, if you'd like to in the chat, let me know when you're ready, and I can start. I don't want to go too fast or have you fall behind. So let me know when you're ready to go. What do I have running here that's taking so much power?
Everything seems slow for me too, Coulter. So I'm always blown away every time that I go to Sway, or when I first started using Sway, I was blown away by the power of Sway. And it's like, wow, you just click a few things and you've got this beautiful presentation. So hopefully that'll be something that everyone is amazed by today as well.
Perfect. And you know what? As we were just sort of filibustering there while we're getting everyone ready, I found the link that not the link, but I found my actual account that I was signed into and wanted to present from anyways. So this is what my home screen of Sway looks like with some of my Sways already set up. And another thing that you can do is you can actually start from a topic. So if I click on start from a topic, I can actually type in something that might be a topic of interest, or again, it might not be applicable for you, but it's just good to know that it's here, that if you do have something that you want to start from a topic, not that you're going to be in administrative roles typing in dinosaurs, but you might need to do it for, you might need to use it for collection of items, or you might just in a way that you can start from a topic, and it's important that it's notes here. Hey, Brigitte, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining.
Hi. Good, you?
There we go. So that is your start from a topic. You can also start from a document, and I'll show that in a little bit, but we're going to create that new sway. And here it is. So the first thing we need to do is we need to title our sway. Whether I'm open for ideas, how might you title a presentation that you're working on? We're all working on different things, right? And everyone might be a little bit different. And I know on the call today, we might have different roles in administrative support roles, administrative staff roles. So we all might be doing different types of presentations. You can pretty much type in whatever your type of presentation may be. If you have any ideas, I love to see them in the chat, because then I can build it off that idea. If not, I'm just going to go with something pretty raw, pretty basic, and it's just going to be something just to show you how to use the program. Because the objective isn't necessarily the content today. The objective is to show you how to use the tool. Okay, so the first thing we do, we want to put a title, right? We're gonna sign in. We're gonna do our title, and our title can be really anything that we want. Maybe it is this newsletter piece, and you saw that newsletter, but it doesn't have to be that newsletter. It can be just a monthly one. So I'm just going to type in January, or I would do with September. Actually, October, because we're right around the corner. Okay, so this is going to be October updates, right? And then, which is really nice, we're going to want to put a little title or a little page here. So this is our storyline, and on our storyline we have these cards. Okay, and each card can have text, can have images, can have links, can have audio recordings, videos. We can put whatever we like in here, and essentially what we're going to be doing is just dragging and dropping them over. So my storyline works with the insert button over here. So I'm going to click on insert, and it automatically shows up with some updates that I have. Okay, so with some, not updates, with some suggested searches. So it recognizes that I typed in October, and it's tried to put those words in there for me. But I can always just go to my Bing images, and I can see what pops up there. And now maybe I want to pop in October. So at the top there, I can click search, and I can find some items here for October. And this looks like a nice little, beautiful little foliage picture. I'm just going to drag and drop it over into my card.
That's one of the things, Coulter, as we use Sway, is that there's such a at your fingertips library of just about anything you could want for topics. So you don't have to search very far. You can do all that searching from right within Sway, and they have these lovely, lovely images that are ready to use. So that's a real benefit of Sway, hey?
Yeah, thanks, Cami. Yeah, you're right. It's really nice because you're just right in the program. You don't have to leave to find things. And we'll expand on that in a little bit. But you're definitely right that we're able just to search right in here for specific things. One thing that I do recommend is if you click on Creative Commons, that allows you to make sure that there's no copyright infringement. So if you click on Creative Commons only, if you click off that, you're going to get more pictures, but they're not necessarily allowing you to use those pictures. Where if you made sure that you clicked on Creative Commons, you've got the green light to use the pictures. Okay, so I've given myself my presentation a title, October Updates. Now I'm going to click on this green plus button. And when I click on the green plus button, I get some of these options here. So we're going to actually start with a heading, okay? And then we have the text, our images, and we have some of these things here. But this is under suggested. If I click on text, I see heading and text. Okay, so I'm going to click on heading 1. And I'm just going to type in week 1. Or first week. Let's go first week. Okay, and then I can drop some images in here again. So maybe first week might be, let's go crazy hair day. Right, what are some things we're doing in the first week of October at school? Okay, so we can find different pictures here. We can add those pictures in. We can, whatever the topic is, whatever you're putting for your content, we're just going to click on that insert button. We're going to add some images in. Now, if I clicked on add here, notice it says clear selection. I've already picked one picture here. I picked this one. Now, if I wanted to add more, I can just click on a few of them and then click add. And it drops it down below. Now, I realize that this isn't where the title page is, so it's not really what I want. So I'm going to just grab that picture. I'm going to drag it back up there. I'm going to drop it there, and I'm going to delete these pictures. So I can delete them just by clicking on that trash can right there, and they're gone. Okay, so then I can now that I've added a heading, title first week, and a title picture, I'm going to probably want to add some text or some context to it. So I click on the green plus button, click on text, and then I can add text. I can also add a subheading if I'd like, but I can just add some text right now. So my text might be Spirit Week starting, and our first event is Crazy Hair Day on Wednesday, October 5th. I don't know if it's the 5th on Wednesday, but maybe it's the 6th. Okay, so I'm just going to add that text, and let's go Spirit Month. Okay, so I've added the text. I've added a picture. Now I maybe want to add some other things here. So I can always click on this, and I can add in what we call some media. So if I click on media, I have some options to add in media. So I can do a video, I can do an audio, I can embed a QR code or a different type of code, an iframe code, and I can add in more images. And we'll talk about groups in just a second. But if this is all that I need, this is all that I really, first week, this is all the information that is needed to be provided, I can stop that. And it's just really simple. So your task right now, just want you to add a heading card, an image, and some text. And I'll stop, I'll pause for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll let you take care of it, and we'll come back in about 2 minutes. Let me know if you have any questions or if something gets stuck. This is just your introduction. We're going to start building on this as well. Okay, so remember that we want to click on that plus button to add that content into our Sway.
When you've had a chance to add those things, maybe you can just let us know in the chat that you're finished by telling us the topic of your Sway. What are you working on? What are you building in your first playground here?
Yeah, that'd be great. What are we working on? What's our title? Okay, I think we should move on to the next task. We're going to add in another heading. So notice that I've clicked on that triangle there at the top to minimize it. It keeps my stuff organized. And I click on that plus button. I'm going to add another task. Okay, and this one is going to be, or another heading. And this one's going to be holiday reminder. Okay, and then I click on the green plus button. And I'm going to add some text. I'm just going to say, Thanksgiving is on October 11th this year. Please remember, please have a safe and enjoyable time. Remember, there will be no school. There is no school on this day. There is no school. Let's go no. This is a government holiday. There's no work. Let's go generic, right? Oh, there is no. Remember, businesses are closed. Okay, and now that we've added the text, maybe we want to add in some images, right? So I don't have a text image there, but maybe we want to go for some images. Okay, so I want to add some different types of images here. Let's go Thanksgiving. And I can just grab one here. Let's pop that in there. It's the first one. And then I want to add some nice succulent looking photos of food. Everyone likes big, huge Thanksgiving dinners. So I'm going to click on a few of these. So I'm going to click on that one. I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to click on this big turkey there, this little plate there. And last one I'm going to click on is the kitten eating some food. Right, so then I've got 5 selected here. And I click on add. And here they are. They're all put in there. But what's happened was my mouse was up top, and it thought that I wanted to put my text card below. So now my text card is there. Sway is a drag and drop type tool. So I just got to drag this up. Okay, and I don't want to group it. If I hover it over top, you can see in the background it says group. I don't want to group this. I want the text card by itself right now. So I'm just going to make sure that it goes in the middle and it's not grouped. With that being said, I want to group these pictures though. So now I can grab these pictures, I can put that over top, and it's created this group for me. It's offered some group types, but we can change that in a second. But what I want to talk about is how this thick gray area has now come out. Now you can see there is a difference between this gray and this gray, very slightly. And you can see that there's still that triangle there, but there's this triangle here. So we're still in the second heading. We're still in our number 2 heading, which is the holiday reminder. But this group has some pictures here. Now, notice the color difference here. These pictures are not in the group. So I'm going to have to drag and drop these ones over. Okay. There is an easier way to do this, and I can show you in a second. But this is a common occurrence, and this is what we run into some problems with is, well, I wanted to group this, and it didn't let me group it, or I accidentally grouped it. How do I change it? Okay, so you can actually see here, I've done that, exactly what I've done. I've created 2 separate groups. So it happens all the time.
Oh, yeah? One thing I'd like to point out too, then, and that's the big thing about Sway is it's so easy, but you have to know how and where to drag things. If you watch when Coulter's dragging, he's the line, it's kind of a teal color in his presentation on this particular Sway. The line is going to get thick and dark where the picture's going to drop. So you can kind of, as you're moving your cursor around, you can see wherever that the line gets dark and gray, you can see right there that's where the picture will go. So as you're navigating, that's something you're going to want to look for as well. It took me a while when I first started using Sway to figure out that's where the picture was going to drop. So once I realized that was like, oh, okay, now I can manage this a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly, Cami. And I think this is really, for me, this is the only confusing part when I was learning Sway as well. Is okay, what this was the biggest learning curve for me is how to navigate putting my pictures or images into groups. So you can see I just dragged that one down. Now I got 2 groups here, which is kind of weird. And so I just want to actually delete the one group. And so I just clicked on that, and it looks like it's gone. So now I've got this group here, and I can click on group type. So right now it's an automatic group type, but I can actually change the group type. I don't want automatic. I want to change the group type. So let's down here. Let's delete ungroup. Let's see what I've done here. There we go. There we go. So I actually got rid of that second group there because there was two groups. Now I got a group type. I can click on group type, and here are some options. Okay, so for this one in particular, I'm going to choose a stack. That's what I like. I want to sift through some pictures, but you can do some grids or slideshow or any choice that you like. Okay, so when I'm done, I can just click on my green plus button and add a new heading. But for right now, I'd like you to add a couple pictures in and create a group. That's your task. Add 3+ pictures and create a group. And I'm going to show you, actually, I'm going to stop you before I let you go and do this on your own. I'm going to show you one more time on how you can possibly create a group. You can add the pictures like I did at once, or I could click on group right here and add a stack. And it's already created that group for me. So there's a few ways to do it. This is probably the easier way, but sometimes I've already got pictures there and I just want to group them that way. So now I've got this rectangle here where I can just add my content in. The pictures. I add that one in there, I add that one in there, and add that one in there. And now I'm already inside that group, and it's already grouped up for me. Okay, that's a nice last picture there. Okay, so now I've got those two groups. And the one way I created it by pressing the plus button, group, stack. And the other way that I created it was by clicking on insert. I selected some images. I added the images, and then I dragged and dropped those images over top of one another to create that group. Okay, so I'm going to delete these. You have that trash can there. You can always delete your pictures. You can delete your groups, but it's your turn now. Add a group. Doesn't matter what group. I selected the stack. You can try a different one if you'd like.
My favorite group, Coulter, is the one where there's like the picture with the tiny little thumbnails underneath. That's the one I like to use. Although stack is a close second. I do use stack a lot too.
Yeah, I like that one as well. I really do. I think that one is a nice option. And it's which one is it under? Group type.
It's go that one right there. Yeah, I always like when you can
preview,
you can see what's coming. That's the word, preview, right? So there's that idea of there's this is what else is here. So that's the one I like, that one. But
yeah, I agree. So we're gonna pause here for about another 2 minutes. Make sure you get your group stacks in, or whatever group. Sorry, doesn't matter what group. And then we're gonna do one more heading and one more thing with our storyline, and then we're gonna talk about our editing features, and we're gonna show how you go through our settings, go through our design features, and we'll wrap things up. But yeah, it's your turn right now. Just add some pictures in. Let's create a group. Up there. So notice how I clicked on that little triangle again, and I started to just organize my space right here a little bit better.
now, one thing that we should certainly mention too, Coulter, even though the search has this wonderful library of beautiful pictures, if you're working as in an admin role in a school, you might have pictures of your students, right? You might have pictures from the assembly or from a classroom or pictures from your actual school day, and you can absolutely upload those as well. So it doesn't have to be from, even though these are beautiful libraries, you can absolutely upload pictures of your own students doing their own activities. And if you're doing a school newsletter, often that's what you have to include there is your own students. So just so you know that that is certainly a thing that you can do as well.
Yeah, it's quite simple. You can just go into your options here where it says big images. You click on that, and then you just click on my device, and then find that image. I tend to try to put them on my desktop, but I can also just find it and drop it in there. So there's my one picture that I've uploaded. It has nothing to do with our October updates, but maybe I can caption this, get a discounted picture at the falls this weekend. Local ID required. They actually do this in Niagara Falls. So this is, you do get your perks for being, I don't know what we're called. Are we called an, I grew up in Niagara. I know I live in Toronto, but I grew up in Niagara. I think we're called Niagara Fallsians, Niagara Knights. I'm not sure what we are called. Okay, last one before we start going to some more designs. So when I click on the plus button, again, I'm adding the heading, and I'll show you why we've been adding headings. You might not think they might be that important, but I'll show you why we add headings, because it actually creates a table of contents for us. So if we have a lot of stuff at the very end, really easy to navigate our sway because of the table of contents. So I encourage you, when you do create sways, to do the headings, because it just helps out the user when navigating through your presentation. Okay, one thing, I know it said first week, but one thing I didn't mention is that on, I think, is it October 5th? It is World Teachers Day. I don't know how this wasn't the first thing at the top of the list. So Teachers Day, October, no, just go like that. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to add that picture. World Teachers Day. Go, grab that, drag it over, drop it into my little space. Okay. Now I can add some media. Okay, so I'm going to click on media, and I can add a video. So I'm going to add video. And here, my video might be from YouTube. So say I grab a YouTube video. The nice thing about the YouTube videos is that you don't actually have any of the commercials or any of the advertisements. So you do have a lot of nice ways to produce sort of these types of videos without having to worry about anything that's negative about YouTube, which really are those ads on the right, because you're rolling the dice. You don't know what's coming up. If my genre of music, I give this example all the time. I have a wide genre that I like, but because of that, I get some really obscure things on the right-hand side. Recently, it's just, there's some random ones that come up, like, I don't even know who this person is or what this is or why that algorithm has set that up. So I definitely stay away from going onto YouTube, because those suggested things are a roll of the dice. So it's really nice. I just clicked on YouTube. Here's the YouTube searches. I've typed in World Teachers Day. Right? You might be able to find something else there. I don't know if I'm up there. I wonder if I have anything from YouTube. There's a Coulter Lewis who does gardening repairs in he's quite famous, actually. He does it in Denver, Colorado, I believe. So that's not me, but I guess it's close enough. But I don't have any of my YouTube videos up, which is a shame. So your task right now, just to make sure you feel comfortable, give yourself a heading, click on the green plus button, add some media, throw in a video. Okay. If you want to test out the audio option as well, you can do an audio, but it has to be like an MP4 file, I believe. So you can drag an audio file there. It's loading. It's loading. There we go. And let's see what I have in my desk. MP4. See what comes up. So while you're doing that, I'm going to look for this. Those are going to be some videos that I've created. Let's try and get through. Okay, festive music. Here we go. Here we go.
Coulter's talking about file types, and if you didn't know the difference, an MP3 is an audio file, so that's going to be a file that just has the talking or the singing. An MP4 also is a movie file, so that includes some kind of visual as well. And so MP3, MP4, you probably know that, but some teachers and admin don't know that.
Yep, I had to correct myself because I completely forgot that that's what it was. I was looking at MP4s today and MP3s, so there is definitely a here we go. We've got some tragically hip here, but there is definitely a little forgetfulness there that the MP3 is your music. I always think of the MP3 as the little small ones. Remember in like early 2000s when the MP3
iPod
player came out?
Yeah.
Not even iPod, just like the little mini, like you were so excited because you could upload like 30 songs that lasted an hour. And we were so pumped up because you could have this little thing that didn't skip, and it took like a AA battery, and that was it. And you got your 30 songs for however long you could find the next computer that had more music downloaded on it. So I always think of my little MP3 player that I used to run around with. So I've added some media. That was your chance to add some media while we were sort of just chit-chatting there. Really nice way to do it, right? Really simple, adding those medias in. Again, my audio note does not have the context of what we're talking about for World Teachers Day, but again, it's just about adding this content in. That's the objective today, is learning how to use the program, not necessarily about the content that we have in here for right now. So I've clicked on those arrows in the corner. I've organized my storyline right here, really nice. Now that I've done my storyline, it's time to look at the design features. Okay, so one thing I think of storyline and insert work well together. And now I go design and styles. So left, right, when we click on one or the other, I look to the left, right. But I click on design. And now I can see what I've created so far. I have my holiday reminder, and I got Happy Thanksgiving already cut off there. That's not ideal. So I'm going to show us how to crop that. Okay. And then I have my Thanksgiving here. I'm actually even further down. I'm not even at the beginning of my presentation. So here's my October updates. Okay, there's my first week, crazy hair day. There's my text, holiday reminders. There is my stack with my pictures. So I just click through my pictures. Okay, I can also enlarge that picture, that specific image. I just click on those arrows and it will become a full screen for that image. Okay, there's my going over the Falls with Ollie picture, get a discounted picture of the Falls, right? So it's just a nice way to see this. And here's my embedded video. So I press play on the video and up pops the video and it will play right in Sway for me, which is really nice. Okay, like I said, there's no ads, there's no suggested searches. Really nice way to just watch that content. Go. There we go. And then, and here's my audio note. This is my audio note down here. So I click on that audio note and I don't know if it loaded in time. It looked like it was struggling there, but it loaded. There we go. Okay, so I have that audio note in there now. All right, so just really nice way to see the designs, and this is what it looks like. If I click on the bottom, right here on the bottom, that little button right there next to the arrows, I can click on that, and that opens up, that table of contents that I said. So there are my options for just being able to navigate. So if I wanted to click on first week, I go right back to the first week. Okay, so that's just important if you have a lot of content in here. After doing this so far, we haven't built too much content, but as you progress, and you maybe you do a newsletter from September all the way down for the 10 months we're at school to June. Maybe you want to have that table of contents so everyone sees, okay, I can just click on October and see October. Okay, so that is one way. But now that we have design, I want to click on styles. So I'm going to click on styles, and here I have some options. And the nice thing about Sway is it doesn't make me think too much about what style I want to use, and it doesn't make me think, it doesn't make me spend time choosing this. It does give me some options. You can see there are a bunch of options and a bunch of ways that I can click the style, but I can also just click that remix button. So if I click remix, ta-da, it remixes it to a different color or to a different style completely. So you can see
I've got lucky dice there, hey?
Yeah, you're rolling the dice, right? Lucky dice. So you can get some really nice ones, and you get ones that are not exactly what you wanted. So you can see this cut off the picture for me. This one doesn't really have that picture there, but it's got this picture nice. So this one isn't exactly what I wanted, so I'm going to click remix again. Oh, I like the green. I like the vertical, or it's horizontal here. Okay, that's all right. The pictures aren't the best. I'm going to try one more time. Let's see what we got. See the color palette too that it's changed? Change that color palette, and now I'm back to vertical. Okay, so I'm okay with this one. So once I decide on a style, okay, then I can make some edits to my images, specifically my images. For example, I don't really want this video to be that small. I also think that it's important to have, where's that Happy Thanksgiving picture? I don't see the happy, oh, right here. It should say Happy Thanksgiving on this. So maybe I want to get some style differently. So I'm actually going to click on storyline and go back. And so this is super important here because now I can click on, so here's the video. Now I can choose the size of my images for my video or whatever. I can size things. And so I just click on that card. And now I have three options. I've got small, medium, or large. So I just click on that large part. And I'm done. Now when I go back and press play, I'll be able to see that it's nice and big. Since I'm already here, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to click on the Thanksgiving heading card because I wanted that heading card to show all the, actually no, I'll do the crazy hair because I wanted that crazy hair picture to show the examples of all the crazy hair. So what I do is I click on focus points. So images have this option for focus points. And I can click on the entire image is important. And you can see here it shows what it will look like on a tablet or on a mobile phone. I actually haven't even really promoted the mobile phone use or the tablet use. Sways work on everything. So you send the link out and it works on everything. So I clicked on the entire image is important, but maybe I just want to focus in on just this crazy hair right in the front. And you can see, and I don't need to have that crazy hair day piece at the bottom there. So you can see I've clicked on that. I don't press reset because if I press reset, it goes back to normal, right? But maybe I just want that one, and that one. Make sure that we focus there, okay? And there's my focus points. And you can see at the bottom how it's changed. So when I'm done and I got that image the way that I want it to be laid out, I click on that X, okay? And then I can press play, and we should see now that the video that I've clicked on and that I've made that image size bigger, and the image here of the focus points, I press play, we'll see that those have been updated. So let's see. There it is. My holiday reminder, there are my pictures. Teacher's Day, there's the video, nice and big. There's my audio note. Okay, and now if I ever want to go back from pressing play, I just press escape or edit, and it brings me back to my storyline. So right now, I want you to just, hopefully you're able to click on design. I've done a lot of talking there, and styles, and then you press remix a few times. Once you chose your style, now if you didn't want the vertical style, you can press horizontal, you can change that up. But I encourage you to find your style first before you change the images of your picture. So for example, if I press remix again, it's not going to save this video to be nice and big for me. I think it saves it if I press on horizontal. It should, no, it doesn't. It changes it. So as soon as I change the layout again, it changes everything for me. So I have to go back and edit. It's just by chance it's made that video big for me again. But okay, so choose your style, go back to your storyline, make your video nice and big, or make something bigger, change the size, whatever you'd like, and try your focus points on an image. Try clicking on your image, clicking on focus points, and edit that. And I'll give everyone about maybe another minute to try that out. Let me know if you have any questions, or let me know in the chat when you're ready to go.
So Coulter, when we click on the design tab, that's where we see the finished product or a preview. And then to make our edits or to fix, we go back to the storyline tab.
Yep, that's correct. And if you did press play and you're in a full screen, just press escape or the edit button, and that will bring you right back to.
And I found that was maybe the other learning curve that I had when I started to use Sway was it's like, oh, there's this lovely template or this lovely color palette design. And then I click on that and choose it. And it's like, oh, but my pictures, they're just like you, the heads are cut off and, those types of things. So figuring out how to go back and once you get the hang of using those focus points for the pictures, it's super handy and intuitive, but it's a little different. It's a little different than lots of other programs. So it's maybe a way that you haven't edited pictures before. So once you get onto it, it's like awesome, but it can take a little bit of time to figure out how that works.
You can also, the focus points are fine. You can also do that, but you can also change that image size too. Just like you change the video size, you can change from small, medium, or large there as well. So you have that choice to do that, which is just the other way. But sometimes, even if I make it a medium-sized image, the head of the picture might be cut off, or it might be trimmed a little bit different. So you can always do a small image and focus point, or a medium image and still focus point. So you do have some of those options. Okay, so with our remaining time, I just want to start showing off some settings here. It's a really nice way to, well, actually, before we even begin or finish the settings, I'm just going to click on Customize. Last thing in our design feature, I click on Customize, and I have a few more options to customize. I have some font choices. Okay, I have that animation emphasis, and I have a text size as well. Okay, so I can change those a little bit. Okay, so it all depends on how you want to set that up, but just a couple more options for you. If you want to make those changes, you can.
And Sway wants you to create beautiful things. And so they have pairings that they've already just like font pairings that already go well together. So they really want to take the difficulty of design away and just it's click. An expert has already decided that these colors or this font style goes with another font style. So you just click and pick and you don't have to do some of that hard thinking work about the design pieces there.
Yeah, same with that color inspiration, the color palettes as well. You can click on an image and up pop some color palettes that might help you decide on which color scheme you want to be using. If you want to make it center around something specific. Okay, so it's nice, some nice options there. So this one's probably gonna get some blues, yeah. This one's the same blues and greens, maybe, yeah. Okay, so that's just your final options with your design stuff. I don't want to use any of those. So, and I'm going to click on that X, come back here, I'm going to click on my design. I still want my styles there. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. My 3 dots, right at the top. 3 dots on my sway. They're the horizontal. It's my sleeping snowman, your Timbits. Okay. Don't be confused at the 3 dots web browser. This is the 3 dots for my sway program. And so when I click on that, I have some options there. Create new. I can duplicate the sway. I can export the sway if I'd like. You can export it in different formats, PDF or Word. Okay. Actually, it looks quite nice in a Word document as well. And then I have this accessibility checker if you need to make it more accessible for any of your audience. It's really nice because it will just give you some tidbits on how to make things more either visually supportive or it just gives you some really nice suggestions so that anyone that might find it difficult can access it. Okay. Then you have your accessibility view as well, very similar, high contrast stuff, really supports some of your audience members. And then I want to click on settings for my sway. Okay, so we're going to go into settings for my sway. And I can use a few different things here. I've got that language, show text direction buttons, things like that. Use left to right layout, just different ways that we can change our thing. Then you have viewers and co-authors can duplicate this way, how I want to set this up for if I share it with people. Okay, and viewers can change the layout. So how I want to set that up, it's important to see that here. Okay, so storyline. So that is just your quick settings here. My sways. Oops, it's going to bring me right back to my home page here, where you can see all of the sways that you've created.
So Coulter, that's where you would go if you were co-creating with another staff member. That's where you would set up a shared access so that you could both be co-creators before you sent that out. That's where you would find that.
Yeah. So right here, I can click on the share button at the top, and I can invite people to view or to edit. I can also get the visual link or an embed code. I have some more options there, and I can reset the settings, the share settings. But yes, you're right. That's where we go to double check our settings to see how we want to set that up.
That embed code, by the way, looks great in a website. So if you have a school website that you help to run, you can take that embed code and pop it into your website, and then that sway, they can just sway through the sway without even leaving the website. So that's a really neat feature.
Yeah, I agree. You can just even copy this part right here. You copy that, and you paste it in a what do I have available right now? I wonder if it would do. I don't think I have a Word document, but if I had like a OneNote, if I have any place that I want to put it, like you said, like a website, I'm able just to copy the URL at the top here, and then paste it and press enter, and up pops my sway already there that can be viewed inside of that document. So it's really, really nice. So this brings us sort of to the end of our presentation. The last thing that I just want to quickly show is that you have this option. When I press play, I can click on my settings wheel right here. So when I'm actually in my settings, I can click on, I can click on these. I'm trying to find the timer. Maybe they changed the timer on me. Sometimes they used to have like a timer, and it looks like they've changed the timer. Okay, we're going to scrap that. There's no more timer. Sometimes they used to have a timer in the settings wheel where it would automatically play through, so you could just leave the room and have the PowerPoint or the sway presentation run through at its own time. But it looks like they've removed that setting there.
Or maybe they've just moved it, Coulter. I think that's still there, but I don't like they move stuff in these programs, right? And then it's like I just used that yesterday and now I can't find it, right?
Yeah, so you might be able to see it on your end. But usually it will pop up. I thought it was going to be in the 3 dots, but or the settings wheel, but it's neither. So that's okay. If you do find it, it's just a really nice little option there for you. But that brings us to the end of our presentation. I'm right on time. I'm a little bit over. I apologize. Last thing I want to talk about here before we let you go, because I've got you some resources to use on your own. Let me pull up our PowerPoint. Go. So at the very end of the presentation here, throughout the presentation, I've even given you some ideas here about and adding content just for that reminder piece. But I've got you some ideas as well for ways that you might want to use the sway, ideas for using it. And as I scroll down and as it freezes on me while we're trying to, there we go. So feel free to check those out. I also have some resources for you, some just generic ones about Microsoft, but Office support, and also a little package for Office tools. Finally, you have an option to go to the Microsoft Education Center. For today's workshop, you can type in our code and redeem some points to gain your PD certificate and recognition for all your work that you're doing with us. So I encourage you to head to the Microsoft Education Center. While there, you can search for other workshops or other types of self-directed asynchronous sort of lessons. So this is what it looks like. And you can just click on training and courses. And you can find other programs. There's a couple on there about Sway. So you can definitely jump on there and up your game in Sway. However, what we've covered today is pretty much what Sway is. So you should feel pretty confident that you've covered more so than the basics. Pretty much what we worked on today is what you're going to find in other tutorials, because it's not a super robust program that is vast and difficult to understand, and there's more things underlying everything. It's pretty much what you see is what you get in Sway, and it's quite a nice way to, like I said, to just build your presentations really easily and then share them out. So there's just some more options there, digital storytelling, so you get 3. So that's with Sway, but you could do anything if you want to find out more about OneNote or Teams or Word, anything like that. And in the Microsoft Center is great for you to use, and feel free to jump there. Finally, we appreciate all your time. Please let us know if you have any feedback for us, or because you've taken our courses, you are part of our family or part of our community. We are here to help you. It does not have to deal with anything about this particular course that we just did today, but you can send a message about anything EdTech to help@cobblestonecollective.ca. We'd be more than glad to. We've got a bunch of support staff that have been working on this, and they're always on it. So anything at all with education technology, we're here to help you. And it doesn't have to be Microsoft based. It could be just my computer's not working. Can you help me out here? And we'll do our best to support you with that.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Sorry, I've popped those links in the chat for you, Coulter. So the feedback form is right there. That just literally takes a minute or 2. Sorry, Coulter, go ahead.
No, that's great, Kami. I was going to say you've done that. And just finally, we'll close off before we stop the recording. This is what a Sway looks like if you pop it into like a Word document. So I just copied the link, the URL at the top. I press Control Paste, and it pastes that whole Sway directly into the Word document for me. So we'll end off with that. Okay, so thanks again, everybody. We're going to stop our recording. If you have any questions, I'll be the last one off the call today. So please unmute your microphone, ask us your questions, let us know if we can help you any further, and we'd be happy to do that.